series lever, but I haven't got the name for it, so easier. Right, so this is the uncoupler, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Randy, tell me and our viewers how this works. What is it?
Effectively, we have a remote uncoupler, easy to install, that allows you to either uncouple or pass over without uncoupling.
So basically,
Your choice, yes.
Right, all right. So it's not a constantly on uncoupling magnet.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's activated by a momentary toggle switch, on or off.
Now the model, each one comes with this faceplate and the switch, right?
Come with the switch and the faceplate, exactly.
Okay.
Now, if I bring this in the off position, I bring the cars over the uncoupler, they will not uncouple. Yet when I turn it on, and I bring them down over, if you can see the trip pins, when you see the blue lights on the trip pins, they'll uncouple.
Okay, so that when you install the uncoupler onto your track, that means there's an LED that turns on when it's uncoupling.
When it's active to uncouple, exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
now the question is though, I mean, what kind of power supply is this? 12 volts?
12 volts, 500 milliamps will do it.
But, I mean, do you need the power on all the time?
It's momentary. Because it's momentary, you can run 20 or 30 units off a single power pack.
Right.
It's really quite amazing.
So basically it's a momentary on and it stays on, momentary off and it goes off.
Exactly.
And-
When it's on, the only power it consumes is what you require for the LED.
Okay, LEDs virtually nothing,
Virtually
right?
nothing.
And so the LED is only on when you're uncoupling.
Yes.
Okay, so that tells you where to stop.
Very, very, very true. And it's interesting, when you're in a yard with several layouts or cars, you can actually look underneath and see the light on the trip pins. And you can stop there.
So even low lighting situation, you have no trouble seeing where to. That's pretty cool. That's awesome. Now, I imagine these will work well with passenger cars, yeah?
Absolutely.
All right, well, you know what? I happen to have some passenger cars here. Let's give it a try, eh? Okay, so I'm a passenger modeler. You know, I'm wearing I'd rather be on an Amtrak t-shirt here, and I'll be modeling Spadina Yard in my basement, where we are. So obviously here, passenger cars are a big part of my layout, and I was really wondering how I'm going to uncouple them. And I have here two coaches, including a certain number 5647. That's a coach I'm well familiar with. So, you know, the bamboo skewer is a traditional uncoupling tool used by most operators, and obviously with the diaphragms, it's very hard to get that in there, especially when the diaphragms are connected, really touching each other, you know, if they're sitting in the yard. Okay, so let's roll back and forth. No uncoupling happening whatsoever. Okay, let's turn on the uncoupler. All right, and let's find the blue light. There it is, and kaboom. Hey, really nice. This is not needed anymore. All right, so to install this, I mean, what is exactly involved? I see that we have you use a drill. It's a very tiny drill. You're using a drill to drill a 1/8 inch hole from above, right? And then the hole saw from underneath, right?
Exactly. It's important. Most layouts, when you lay out and you start operating, especially in freight yards, you find out that, gee, I wanted an uncoupler here, not over there. So the ability of this uncoupler is you can locate it anywhere you want from the top down.
Right, so just drill through, and then there's the pin that's included in the box that
Yes.
goes in the middle of your standard hole saw, right? And then that goes up from below, so the pin centers in the hole, right?
Exactly.
Okay, but if an already scenic layout, it's no problem to install this.
No, that's
Right.
the advantage of this system, because the only ballast you have to do is that little circle.
Right.
That's the only scenery you do with it.
Right. Okay, so let's walk over to a little part of my layout here and just show me exactly, you know, from an unfinished layout, how it's going to work. Right. So basically, if I'm going to be installing the uncoupler here to uncouple east to Kingston Station, should I be doing it before or after I lay all the track?
If you know exactly where you want it here, you're absolutely certain, drill the hole from the top down. You can use a standard 1 3/4 inch hole saw, place it in and get it all set. That's the easiest way.
Right.
However, even when I do layouts now for displays, I actually lay the tracks and find out where the clearances are and then drill down through to put the uncoupler
So
in place.
it's even easy, basically either way. It's 6 of one, half dozen the other. Okay, and so you can see, I mean, this is pretty easy, right? Because I mean, I've got access from underneath, which is most guys building a layout, you got access from underneath.
Yes.
You know, and you see it's probably going to end up being roughly flush here, right?
Yes.
And then this guy is going to plug in to the toggle switch is included and the fast shape plate's included, right? So I mean, this plug is included here, and you just have wires coming off the toggle switch, and you can increase those lengths with more wires if you wanted to.
Plug in there.
Okay, very, very good. You realize, you know, I'm just doing this here so everyone can see how neat my turbo is, right? I love the turbo.
True, Jason.
Right, okay. So this is the thing I'm really excited about, right? Because this is the switch machine, and I have a triple deck layout under construction, and my big concern is putting one of those massive switch machines under the layout. So, I mean, how thick is this, really?
1 inch. 1 inch.
Now let's make it go so we can actually see it in action. Now the fact that the target is turning and the handle of the switch stand turning too, I mean, that's just fantastic. You know, wow. Wow, now, we're including more than just one switch stand, right?
Absolutely. You have a choice of 3 different style of stands in the kit.
Right. And then so you've got the 31B, the 17B, and the 20C, right?
These are all RailCrew stands.
Okay, okay. And targets? How many targets are we including?
There's 10 different targets. So
Okay.
you can choose a target that suits the road you work with.
Right. So similar to the uncoupler, you're not having constant voltage like most slow motion switch machines, right?
Exactly.
So you just it's a boom and it does its job, and then there's no more voltage.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. So then the question everyone's going to ask is, you know, we're used to slow motion switch machines because they don't wear out the points. Is this going to wear out the points? Because it's a fast one. I mean, it's not as crazy as one of those old solenoid machines, but it is fast.
It's fast. We provide a cam that gives you a whole variety of spaces to be able to throw. So you can set it so that you're not putting a load on it. And the link rod itself is a 30 thou music wire, so it takes the shock, and it has a bend in it. So if you get a little bit off, it'll take the shock.
Okay, great. So we're not going to wear out our points with this thing.
Exactly.
That's fantastic. Let's watch it a couple more times. Now, installation of this thing, so you're installing from above, right? You mentioned that.
Yes, you can install it from above. It's the easiest way. And again, what it is, the instructions simply 1 inch from the edge of the rail, between where the head block ties will go, drill down, drill a 1 1/8 inch hole from the top. And I'm showing it with a hole saw here or a spade saw from the basement, coming up from the bottom. And then you simply put the unit in and put a jam in there to position so you can actually rotate it for adjustments.
Okay.
And then you hook up your link rod. There will be a cam on top. The whole stand itself goes on at the very end. Once you get it working from above, then you put the stand on.
Okay, so I have a sample in my hand, and we've got all of these little contact positions, right? So what are we powering off these contacts if we want to?
You're powering the motor off the 2 end ones, and there are 2 double pole, double throw switches inside the unit, so you can power your frog and signals.
Oh, fantastic! That is brilliant. That's brilliant. And can we put an accessory decoder on here if it's got momentary ability? Yeah. You can put an accessory decoder on here.
Yes, you can.
And I've done no research, so I don't know if any do. But if they don't, I think that's got to be a future RailCrew project. Eh?
I think so.
So this is just east of Gilwood Station on the middle deck here, and there's the crossovers. This is in eastern Toronto area, and I'm in the sub-roadbed stage right now of the layout. So I actually been working with Randy for a while on this, and I knew the design of this switch machine, Randy's design. So I actually drilled the sub-roadbed to have a little lump here, and if you hear, I put my Pico number 8 in position, and you can see that I've got a bump in my sub-roadbed where the switch machine is going to go. If you are doing a new build and you're working on a new sub-roadbed and you're doing the same sort of cookie cutter method that I'm doing, it's advisable to put that bump into your sub-roadbed, and then you've got your room for your switch machine to be in position, and it's got a real solid foundation. Not to say that you can't retroactively fit this, but it's obviously easier if you're coming from the ground up, you're starting your layout, get those bumps in there. So you might want to pick up a few of these just to have sort of tests so you can check the position when you're drilling out, when you're cutting out your sub-roadbed. Obviously, Randy, it's been a pleasure getting to know you over the last couple of years because I don't know if you guys know this, but Randy is an inventor, and he actually invented all this stuff. He invented the switch machine, he invented the uncoupler, he's got more inventions he's working on, and I gotta tell you, this really solves 2 big issues for me as a passenger car modeler, and as a guy with a multi-deck model railroad. You solved my biggest question marks, which were, how do I uncouple my passenger cars, and how do I have a low-profile switch machine? So also with the rotating targets, I mean, this is awesome.
Jason, it's awesome for me too because you solved one of my big problems. How do I get these products to market?
There you go. This is a great partnership between RailCrew and Rapido, and we have a train to catch. So see you later. Train's here. That's pretty cool, huh?
I'll say.